Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Sorry, I just drank a big glass of water and I had some gurgles in the throat right when I said hi. So yeah, hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Just gonna do a video here, talk about all my Frankenstein stuff that I've accumulated over a short period of time, like a couple of years, I guess. I know I did a video talking about it before, but I've gotten more things since then. So I'm just gonna do a quick talk through and just show off what I got. I don't have an official Frankenstein shirt. I'm gonna say Frankenstein instead of Frankenstein's monster just to make it easy. But he's on this with some of the other Universal classic creatures. But anyway, I'll be talking about those later in the week. If you want to subscribe and help me get up to 1,000 peeps, that would be outstanding because that's just something I want to do. But I mention it a lot, so people are probably sick of hearing it. But yeah, if you want to do that, help me out. That'd be great. If you want to hit the like button and maybe comment or whatever, talk about stuff you have in your collection, and I'll definitely get back to you. But yeah, yeah, let's just get into this. It is Halloween week. If you're watching this shortly after I make this video, today is what is it, the 28th, Monday the 28th, so just a few days before Halloween. This Halloween I won't actually be going out and doing anything. I usually go out down to oh, excuse me, my throat's all dry, still fighting off a bit of a cold. But yeah, I usually go downtown and party it up on Church Street in Toronto, but I won't be doing that this year. Just I didn't bother booking the time off, and I know I'm going out and having some fun on Saturday, so it kind of makes up for it, I guess. And it's probably gonna be cold and crappy, and I'm still getting over this cold, so I don't really want to be out partying and drinking in the street as I normally would be, because that's what people my age do, right? I think. I don't know. I've never been my age before, but anyway, with that being said, let's get into this video and show you what I got. First off, just something simple. I don't know what the cat's doing, but he just ran out of the room. But Tracy's not here. Usually that means she's walking in the door, but she usually calls me first, but that's not what's happening. I don't know where he went. Oh, excuse me. I'm probably going to be coughing a lot, and I apologize in advance. But I have, anyway, a copy of the novel with the Universal looking Frankenstein on the cover. It's a really good, well done painting, I would say. Probably a little bit better there, less scratchy. But anyway, there's that. And of course, I got my, holy crap, my copy of the film. And this is from the Legacy collection, so it has all the sequels that came with it back then. Bride of Frankenstein, of course, that everybody knows. Son of Frankenstein, Ghost of Frankenstein, House of Frankenstein. Is that it? Son of Frankenstein. I always thought there was one called Frankenstein's Daughter, too. I know there's Dracula's Daughter, but let me see, blah, blah, blah. Nope, that's about it. But I'm a big fan of the original film and the second one, Bride of Frankenstein. But they're two of my favorite horror films in general. I guess not even just classic films in the Universal films. It's just, in general, I do really like the films. And if you've never seen them, if you like black and white films, I would suggest checking them out. And if you don't like black and white films, well, you're actually missing out on a lot of great films, a lot of great movies. Anyway, here's something else. This has been shown many times. My Frankenstein glass I got in Japan. Well, actually, it was one time I wasn't in Japan. Tracy was there, and I didn't go that time. But she found this in a Dracula one. But this has been in a lot of my beer tasting videos. My Frankenstein glass that I'm very careful with. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go put this in the kitchen. I'll be right back. There, miss me? Probably not. But yeah, I'd be really upset if something happened to that. All right, behind me here. Starting small. But this is a Frankenstein that came out in the late 90s, I think, and there was a whole series of these Universal creatures, or Universal monsters, rather, that Burger King was putting out, and they had different things that came with it. This went on the table, and it would light up, and his head would light up, and it was really cool. I only know that because I've seen a video, and somebody who had the whole collection was talking about it. It was really interesting. I didn't even know that at the time. In fact, I mentioned this toy in a video a while back, and somebody had told me what it was, and I had to look it up just as a curiosity. So it was kind of interesting that that Burger King was putting out a series like that. Now this is a little bit of a cheat because it's not actually Frankenstein; it's Herman Munster. I don't know if you can see, this light's a little bright. Let me change the angle a little bit. But that's actually Herman Munster from the Munsters, of course, television show from the 50s. Who did it? Bob Mosley and no, yeah, I think that's the name. And the other guy whose name I forget. But I think they produced Leave It to Beaver as well. But anyway, there he is. I'm trying to get a better look at him. My brother-in-law gave me this. He just happened to find it somewhere. All right, going up in size. I got this here. This is from the Reaction Toys collection. I think that's what it is. Is it Reaction? Yeah, Reaction figure right there. You see him in there. It's just a little figure. I like the box. There's no reason to take him out of it. So thought it was kind of cool. The Reaction company's been around for a while, and what they do is they're re-releasing toys like this, but as like collectibles, but they're still more or less action figures. I got a few of them. They're a little pricey for my taste, like for that size, and some of them are about $25, which unless it's something I really want, I'm not gonna buy it. But it's interesting because the logo here isn't, but on the ones that are on the cards, the logo looks very much like the Kenner logo, and the figures have the same Kenner movements like the old Star Wars. So basically, just like this, the arms and legs go up, heads turn. There's not really a lot going on. They're kind of almost boring in terms of their movement versus the G.I. Joe figures that can articulate in every way. I think the new Star Wars figures can do that now, but but the funny thing is about the Reaction figures is that they're buying, I guess, got rights to re-release the G.I. Joe figures. So now you got the G.I. Joe figures that look like the classic figures, but with the same articulation as the Star Wars figures. So they're kind of don't really do anything. But if you're a collector of G.I. Joes, then you're probably going to buy them just to have them and probably keep them in the shell and on the card. So I'm not a G.I. Joe guy, so I wouldn't have them. All right. Anyway, moving up. What's next? Okay, well, this is just a little side thing. I got Frankenstein socks that Tracy got me a couple years ago for my birthday, which are kind of cool. Kind of fun looking. Move that over there. And I got my Funko Frankenstein. And I'm not really a big fan of the Funko figures. I know I have friends and people that I work with and people I know that just go crazy for them and have hundreds of them. I think I got maybe like 10, probably not even that many. And again, if it's something I really like I got this one. There's better see it down there. I don't. This light's a little bit bright, but if I don't put it on, then it's too dark in here. But yeah, I got a Leatherface one, this one, a couple Star Wars ones, but not very many, just because I'm not a huge fan of them. But this one I like, and also it was Frankenstein, so it's like, oh, I'm gonna get it. What do we got next? Now this here is the first Frankenstein figure. Actually, no, it's not. It's the second one figure I ever had, and this is NECA. Doesn't do a whole lot. The head's angled on a weird way. Looks like he's looking down, but it's actually because it has the bed or the table that he lies on when he gets raised up, and the electricity brings him back to life, and he comes back down. Even though in that scene I think he's bandaged up and stuff. He's not sitting in his clothes, but that's why he's like that. And also I have the table, but it's kind of put away somewhere, and a lot of work to get to it, so I didn't bother with it. But there is a lot of detail in this. You can see like the wrinkles in the clothes, and it is a well-made figure. And to sort of go with that is a Bride of Frankenstein that was played by Elsa Lanchester. I don't like to handle this one too much because I'm just so scared of getting this dirty, getting her gown all dirty and stuff, and not being able to get it white again. But that's the figure. This is the colorized figure. There's also a black and white version of this. It's the exact same figure, but it's done like to look like it did in the movie, and it's good. It also has like the bandages, as you can see, and it also you can change the head so you can put the bandaged up face, the one that she was lying on the table with, that they somehow managed to fit all that hair underneath. But movie magic, I guess. But yeah, it's a good figure and it's really well detailed. Like it actually does kind of look like Elsa Lanchester, as she did in the film as the character. Now, slide that down. Going back, this is the first Frankenstein figure I ever had. I actually got it from my grandmother's house. It's got some blood-looking veiny blood-looking veins on the hands. Kind of cool. It's a little worn out around the knuckles. It was sitting in a toy box at my grandmother's house for years. She had this one, the Dracula, and the Mummy, which I also have. There is a Wolfman figure that goes with it, which I've only seen once, and I regret not buying it. But still kind of a cool figure. I think it's made by Imperial Toys. And this is, I believe this is from the 80s. I think originally the cast was from the 60s, and then they recasted it by Imperial, must have bought the rights or whatever, however that works, I don't know. And used the same castings to re-release them in the 80s. But that's where I got this one. It's my grandmother's house. And after that, just a few more here. This one here is a little awkward to move around. I'm just scared of dropping it, but I've had this one for a while. This is from, I think, the third Frankenstein movie, the one that came out after Bride, which would be the third one, yeah. But it's kind of cool. It's got like this machine in the back, which has a lot of detail on it, you can see, and a lot of dust. But everything looks pretty cool on it. It's really well made. I mean, it's neck up, so that it's one of the accessories, so it's really, you can see it's hollow and kind of fragile if you drop it, but the figures are pretty solid and it looks good. I think the other figure looks a little bit more like Boris Karloff. And actually, I don't even remember if Boris Karloff was Dracula, or sorry, Frankenstein in the third one. I'll have to look that up. But that's a cool figure. It's got a bit of a lean on it sometimes, so I got to be careful when I put it back. Otherwise, he has fallen off a little bit, as some of the NECA figures have a tendency to do because they're pretty top heavy, and it happens sometimes, unfortunately. So what next? 4 more. It is Son of Frankenstein that character is from, because I have another version. This is Mego, as opposed to the NECA figures that I have. And you can see the detail in the Mego figures isn't quite as detailed, but it is still good. It still looks good. But yeah, you can see he's got the same outfit on, so it is Son of Frankenstein. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but anyway, it's a good figure. It's got a screenshot on the back there. The NECA figure, or sorry, the Mego figures. Let's see, the Mego logo on the back, or there's the actual proper logo, but they're not nearly as detailed. They're more, I'm going to say, kid friendly, and you can play with them a little bit more, and so that's probably why they're a little bit more cartoony, but I still like them. I have so many of them as well. And then I have the Bride of Frankenstein Mego figure right there. It still looks good. Like I said, kind of cartoony and not as detailed as you can see, like the detail put in the NECA figure. But it's still good and fun to play with. Like, well, made to be fun to play with. I don't play with them because they're still in the package. But maybe I would take them out. But then again, I got this and he's not in the package. Maybe I'll play with him. But anyway, Bride of Frankenstein right there. And then the one here that I just showed, this is actually from a Kenner line that came out, I think they around 98, 99. And it's Kenner, so there isn't really a lot of movement. The arms go up and down. I guess they do kind of rotate a little bit here too. But it's got some pretty good detail. It's looks good. I bought this used at a store called Treehouse Collectibles in downtown Toronto. I haven't been there in a while, but I'll be selling my comic books hopefully to them and buy more stuff. I'll be basically trading comic books for horror movie things. Which if you're ever in Toronto and you like collectibles, like not so much horror movie stuff, they don't really have a ton of that, but action figures, a lot of Transformers and things like that. Check the store at Treehouse Collectibles. Look them up online. It's a great place. And no, I'm not here to. I'm not. They don't endorse my channel. They don't do that. In fact, I don't know the people that work there. I've just chatted with them when I walk in. But anyway, check that store out if you can. I bought this. I also got the Phantom of the Opera one, which I'll be doing in a video this week as well, and a Wolfman figure. I got this and the Phantom of the Opera one at the same time, and I thought I might as well go back and get the Wolfman, and at least I'll have all three. The boots are a little weird because Frankenstein didn't have boots like that, but maybe he was just going to go do some fishing or, going for a walk in the swamp, catching frogs. I don't know, whatever he does in his off time. But it's a good figure. You can see like by the buttons that era of doll when they used to have those. Actually, no, that's not what I thought it was. I thought it was the snaps, but it's sewn shut, but it's an actual little button on there. But I like this figure. It looks good. This one I think was still in the package, but they're not valuable. They're not worth a whole ton of money, so I wanted to take it out and actually put them on display. And the last thing I'm going to show, and I believe this is the tallest toy I have in my collection, but this is, I have to pull it back. You can see it all, but this is Amigo Frankenstein, not Amigo, but Migo. And it looks kind of similar to the Kenner one, you can see. But I don't know what the articulation is like. Probably not too crazy. I can see some joints in the wrists, and you can see that the hands move, and you can change the hands. But I like keeping this one in the box because I like the box. I like the way it looks. I like the picture on the back. It's just a interesting box. It was a little damaged up here on the top, so I think that's why it wasn't too expensive. But yeah, it's 14 inches tall. It's a tall figure. Even the one Living Dead doll I have, which is Jack Nicholson or Jack Torrance, only comes up to here, and I have a Chucky doll that only comes up to about there on him too. So it's a pretty solid figure. You see beside my face. But anyway, I think that's everything I have. Frankenstein. Oh, one more thing that I almost missed. A spatula. When I used to do the cooking videos, this was in it a few times. It's actually Tracy. She bought it at I think she bought it at a dollar store. But anyway, there he is. There I am. But then has a little kitchen witch on the back, which I don't know where that trend came from. That it's like you'd have a witch in the kitchen, but apparently it is. I don't know. But anyway, if you watch it you watch the whole thing, thank you so much. If you want to subscribe, if you haven't already, I really appreciate that too. You want to comment, talk about some of the stuff you have, or maybe talk about some of the stuff I have, and maybe there's some details about them that I totally missed on, and you can mention that as well. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'm probably going to do a couple more of these through the week, just to show off some of my Universal Monster stuff, and I guess until the next one, bye.